What is going on, everybody? This is Johnny here with Sierra Whiskey Co. and today we are going to be covering field of view, or FOV as you'll often see it referred to, for rifle scopes and why that matters. Let's start with what field of view means. Field of view means the area that you can see with an optical instrument, i.e. a rifle scope. That also stands for binoculars, spotting scopes, but not red dots. Red dots you're using with both eyes open, so there is no real field of view. There's just a little bit of that housing blocking your view. Now, it is by definition measured in degrees, and we can see an example of this to think about the concept. If we make a fist and put it out at arm's length, that fist is going to cover about 9 or 10 degrees. With rifle scopes, however, you're going to see what's called linear field of view, and that's going to give you a foot measurement, sometimes a meter measurement, at 100 yards. So at 100 yards, we are imagining that it is covering X amount of width. It's a lot easier for someone to wrap their head around rather than trying to imagine that we have this rifle scope and there is this cone that keeps getting bigger as you get further out. Let's say that we have a 3 to 9 power variable optic and it is set at 3 power. At 100 yards, our linear field of view is going to be somewhere around 32 feet. Now, if we take and turn that 3 to 9 power variable up to 9 power, our image is going to appear closer, but our field of view is going to shrink. Our field of view at 9 power, 100 yards, is going to be about 14 feet. That's less than half of what we originally had. Who cares, and why does it matter? Well, let's look at another example. Say we have a 6 to 24 power variable scope. At 6 power at 100 yards, we're going to see roughly 18 feet for our field of view. Now, if we go up to 24 power, that's going to shrink all the way down to about 5 feet. So let's extrapolate some other numbers out of that. At 50 yards, that's going to be about 2.5 feet. Now, if we go down to 25, that's about 1.25 feet, and that's not much area that you're seeing there. So what does that really matter to us? Well, say a hunter was in the woods and they had a 6 to 24 power scope. It's quite over magnified, in my opinion, for being in the woods. But say you had a 6 to 24 power and they were at 24 power. They do not have very much time typically at 25 yards if a deer steps out. And seeing that you only have about 1.25 feet of field of view, it's going to be very difficult for the hunter to get the vitals in the crosshairs in a short amount of time. That also goes on the low end. So say you had a 6x at the low end, that's going to be about twice as challenging as trying to acquire a target at 3x. So the same thing is going to hold true for law enforcement and SWAT snipers. I've worked with a lot of them, and their tendency is to go with something that's way over magnified, typically like a 5 to 25, sometimes they try to go higher. A lot of people think snipers are shooting from hundreds and hundreds of yards away, or 1,000 plus, and with law enforcement that just isn't true. Your average law enforcement shot over the course of many years has been somewhere between 50 and 70 yards. Now, there are obviously outliers, but they typically tend to be far less than 1,000 yards. Now, if we look at military snipers, historically speaking, they were running 10 power fixed scopes for the longest time and shooting accurately out to 1,000 yards on a consistent basis. So 5 to 25 for law enforcement tends to be super overkill. Something in the 2 to 10 or 3 to 15 range is going to allow them a much better field of view while still giving them the capability to shoot out to 1,000 yards. And in the end, that gives them something much more important, and that's field of view. Understanding that we don't need to see something ultra close to make an accurate shot is important. Having more magnification does not directly equate to better marksmanship skills. At times, it can lend to more opportunity for accuracy and better marksmanship. But unless you have those marksmanship fundamentals, it really doesn't matter. Now, this is vitally important when selecting an optic. You are far more likely to miss out on a shot opportunity by having too little of a field of view than not having enough magnification. Now, I'm going to repeat that in some different words because it is really important. You are far more likely to miss out on a shot opportunity by not having a large enough field of view, because that's going to affect the window of time in which you're trying to acquire that target and make that shot than you will ever have by not seeing something close enough. Remember, it appearing close does not directly equate to accuracy. It lends to it. So just remember that good marksmanship skills will make all the difference regardless of magnification. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more from us, please hit that subscribe button and hit the like button as well. Don't forget to stop by SierraWhiskeyCo.com and pick up a pair of our Undertack underwear. A portion of our profits go to veteran groups that help fight human trafficking. We make the only underwear on the market that is optimized for concealed carry. We have a quick release fly that you can use with either hand. So if you wear full kit, you appendix carry, or you wear a gun belt for a living, it really helps. One of my friends said that is the easiest piss he's ever taken in a surveillance van. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on rocking in the free world.